How's it going? I'm going to make this really fun for us. I'm posting this video on a Monday. Mondays are the first day of the week where we have to get back into action from our little mini vacation of Saturday and Sunday. So I'm in this rhythm of posting on Monday. So if you happen to be watching this on any other day of the week, I welcome you as well to our Monday conversation. Okay, so as you know, I have been sharing a little bit of channeling tips, and I really want to get you guys consciously aware of your relationship with all time and space, with your relationship with yourself from every part of time, past, present, and future, with your relationship with the spirit realm or angels or alien beings, whatever your vibe is, that you really enjoy those communications. Your radio station is turned to the channel and you're really connecting with Galactic Federation of Light, or you're really connecting with archangels, or maybe you just want to feel the vibes of Jesus or Source or Mother Earth. So the channel of the radio station, we're going to turn it to the tarot, okay? And because I consider myself an amateur tarot card reader, there's so many people who are awesome at reading tarot. They've been doing it for years. I just like to kind of dabble in it, all right? What my forte is, listening to the sound of energy. So when I listen to the sound of energy, I can listen to the sound of communication, self-expression through other means. So it's like self-expression, a soul's self-expression, an angel's self-expression, my own inner self-expressions. We all have a multitude of expressions, okay? And so when we listen to the sounds of what's being said, it's not always said in a language, it's not always said in an English words. Sometimes it's said in a picture, and sometimes it's said in a feeling. And so when you can listen to the sounds of the radio station or the frequency patterns, you'll start to translate a bigger picture of the communication, okay? So we can use the same technique for reading tarot cards. And I'm not going to use, this is my little book that goes with my tarot cards. As you can see there, it's called the Hermetic Tarot. That's my tarot deck. I like this deck because I like the black and white concept. It's got a lot of symbolisms. It's got this kind of mystery school vibe to it. It's got an old feel to it. So that's my attraction, okay? I really have fun with this deck. So I'm not going to look at the book to try to help me decipher the meaning. I am going to pick a card and we're going to work through this together. And I'm going to teach you guys how we all can actually engage with a tarot card reading that comes from our inner guidance, okay? One thing that I love about tarot is that if you don't have any psychic skills, this really gives you an opportunity to pick a card and feel really connected to something beyond yourself in a physical way. And so if you really want to know what your guides are telling you, you really are concerned about some issue, you just don't know what to do next, you can just pull a card and just see what comes forward. You can work with a book, or you can go to some kind of website that can help you decipher the meaning. Or again, you can look inside yourself. And so the card is a guide in and of itself to help you tap into something now deeper inside yourself that you can become consciously aware of, and work with that feedback to help you decipher how you want to move through your experience. Are you following me? Are you paying attention here? I'm going to be picking a card. How about I just pick a card? You know what? This is a magical side of the process. All right, this card just pops right out. You ready to see what it is? It's upside down. Waymo. Way lame-o. That's what I say. You see what this is by chance? It says it's the Eight of Wands. It's called the Lord of Swiftness. And it's upside down. So I'm going to honor the fact that it's upside down. And I'm going to take a look at, okay, what is the language of the card? What is the imagery of the card? And we've got Eight of Wands, and we've got Lord of Swiftness. What in the world would you do if you picked this card and you don't know anything about wands, you don't know anything about the number 8, you don't know anything about reverse, you don't know anything? Now you have to rely upon yourself to figure something out without any rule books, without any logic, without any collective consensus on what the definition of this card is all about. You're going to just rely on you, okay? I had reflected on this myself. If I were to just be a regular old person, and if my opinion mattered, right? And I were to imagine myself with a wand, which is more like a staff in my opinion, I would consider a staff or a wand as something that is helping me to hold myself up. Now, I mean, how would we define what a cup would represent? Just our own personal opinion, taking the book away, just describing it personally from our conscious perspective. Your opinion matters, okay? We could say that cups, for me, a cup represents something that is full or empty or overflowing. And so a cup makes me feel like I have something or I have nothing. A wand makes me feel like I have something to lean on, or maybe I'm confused because I have too many things to lean on. I'm not sure yet because I'm an amateur tarot reader and I'm just exploring my personal feelings about basic symbolisms, okay? So I thought, okay, what would a pentacle actually, what is a pentacle exactly? And I thought, I think a pentacle kind of makes me think of stars and cosmic messages. And for me, a pentacle would be telling me that there's some kind of message from the stars. And then obviously we have swords. Like sword kind of feels threatening, feels like somebody's going to cut me to pieces. It feels like I'm up against a challenge. This is just me talking, okay? I bet you guys have your own opinions of what a pentacle would mean to you if you knew nothing about tarot. What a pentacle would mean to you, what a wand would mean to you, what a sword would mean to you, what a cup would mean to you, all right? And so I'm going to say that wands, I'm just a regular old human, regular old average Joe, and I'm going to say a wand makes me feel like it has something to do with something that's holding me upright, something that is supporting me, something that I'm using to help me walk forward. Now I have 8 wands. Okay, what does the number 8 mean to me? See how we're just deciphering stuff just by having fun? We're just literally just talking. That's all we're doing. Can you be wrong in this process? This is you getting to know yourself. This is you saying, I'm going to chuck the book away and I'm going to find out what this means to me. And could your opinion be good enough? Would you prefer somebody else who's more knowledgeable to read this card for you? Or what if you actually put it in your own court and said, you know what, I'm going to find out what me feels that this card represents. But you have to believe in yourself, right? So if I were to share a channeling tip, is this really channeling? Yeah, we're channeling a message here from inside yourself. We're really getting in tune with you right now. This is a Monday message, you guys. This is like your wake-up call. And today's going to be a freaking awesome day. And we just picked this upside down 8 of Wands, okay? So this is speaking to us. These are just basic interpretations. Obviously, we're going to want to go deeper. Because if I'm just going to work with, okay, I just picked a reverse 8 of Wands, that tells me things are upside down. That's what it means to me when something is in reverse. It makes me feel things are upside down. Okay, the wand is helping guide me. What does the 8 of Wands mean? This is too much. I don't know how to read this without some kind of internet website to help guide me through it. All right. This message says Lord of Swiftness. And the Lord of Swiftness is upside down. This is where I'm taking some time to actually look at the card as though it is a window, okay? So I'm actually going to take the time to look at the card as though it is a window. You guys should try this, all right? This is really fun because this is actually a mirror. Do you understand that? This is a window, this is a mirror. And so when you look at this card, it is a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of your life. You can look at it upright. Here is what I'm going to do. Look it upright so I can have a clue what this looks like. But then when I turn it upside down, I can think otherwise about it, you know? Because I'm developing a relationship with a card in a new way. I feel like before I go too far, I want to talk about some of the interesting things that have come up recently. When I did those October zodiac energy readings, one of the things that I was impressed by, which I don't really experience this very often, especially across the board, there's this massive energy, Ascension energy event going on, and we are waking up to the next version of ourselves, okay? And we are waking up to the next version of ourselves. And Joe and I have been doing some videos together, posting those on Saturday morning, just some talks. And in one of those, I channeled Albert Einstein, and I really appreciated the message because we're going from unconscious to conscious. Because when we have an ascension wave where we're all getting up to date with the next version of ourselves, we're going to be more consciously aware of what was an unconscious process that we would never have defined it as unconscious. And what Albert Einstein was saying is that we're reaching the next inconceivable reality. And you can't reach an inconceivable reality because you can't conceive of it. You just simply can't ever conceive of it, so you become the process of conceiving of that reality. Then once you exist in that conceivable reality as best as you could conceive of it, you are actually in the process of reaching the next inconceivable reality and forevermore. And I feel like there's something interesting about all this and this nagging inside myself that I need to read tarot cards as an amateur person, teaching people how to read them without the book. Because this is something we can discover together. This is the next inconceivable reality. Our human race, we work with logic. We go to school, the teacher tells us this is what we need to learn. You study it as the teacher taught or as the book taught, and then you regurgitate it on the test. You either studied for it or you didn't study for it. You care or you don't care, or you're just super smart and you just memorize everything. Bam, no problem. But we all have a consensus that we agree that this information is collectively what we're working with. And you do that all through school. You work with logic. This is what was agreed upon. This is our collective consensus. This is how we're going to do things. This is how we're going to make decisions. This is our group learning. This is it, okay? Now when you have to start thinking for yourself, like this is throwing you way out on a limb. I need to have the book here so I know how to read the tarot card because I need to have access to the consensus of how we work through these tarot cards. But what if you didn't? What if you could find something inside yourself that brought forth a new level of meaning, an inconceivable meaning? Perhaps this message is asking you to discover what you're capable of, what you wouldn't have defined yourself as capable of before. And we're working with something fun. This is not meant to be frustrating. This is meant to be an adventure. That last video, I just posted it last week on Monday, is all about step 1 to channeling. It is remember that this is fun. This is an adventure. And life is constantly an adventure. And it gets to be a pickle sometimes, but we work through it to the next inconceivable reality we're conceiving of it. And sometimes there's some astrological boosts and some random events that help keep us moving on this path. You ever look at your life and say, wow, I kind of fell right into place. I mean, I really fell into place. Like a couple of random things happened. I made some decisions and bam, there's some definite changes happening in my life now. But it's almost like it was too easy. Like my guide set this up almost like they knew how I was going to respond. It was going to guide me in this like perfect direction. So we're being guided, whether we can understand it or not. And so maybe we could acknowledge that this message is being guided too. And that there's a whole purpose for this event, which is Abbey and you and me and everybody. My tarot card just fell all over the floor. They're telling me more stuff. Okay. So we have this card called the Eight of Wands. I'm just going to look at it. I mean, it looks scary. Like there's fire. These wands have like eyeballs with wings. I mean, this looks scary. I mean, if this picture is supposed to depict the meaning of the Eight of Wands, this looks scary. I mean, these wands look like spears, like they're going to kill somebody. There's even hands holding multiple wands at the same time. Seems like a lot of symbolic stuff. Let me turn it upside down. It's almost like these wands are like pointing in a direction, like they're trying to point in a direction. I don't feel like they're trying to spear me anymore. They actually feel a little bit more easy to take in. Even the eyeballs are kind of upside down, almost like bugs now instead of like angels with like deceptive eyes. Look more like I feel a little more peaceful. You know what's interesting? I feel safer with the Eight of Wands upside down. Isn't that strange? The Lord of Swiftness is upside down. So does that mean he's the Lord of Slowness? You know what I mean? All right. So we've taken some time to really take a look at the card. And this is the next step. This is what I do. I've received the mirror. I've observed it. A lot of my subconscious is more aware of it than my conscious mind because I can't keep up with all the different thoughts that I'm having beneath the surface of my conscious mind, which is quite slow. In the energy world, you can receive a full-fledged, massive quantity of information. You're like, holy crap, how am I supposed to explain all of that? That's too much information. You could even feel crushed under the weight of too much information. I have no idea how to translate it and how to put it into language that people could understand. Because information moves so quick. It moves so fast, faster than your brain can keep up. All right, so your subconscious has some part in all of this. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes, and it's like we picked this, okay? We picked this upside down Eight of Wands, and we're just amateur tarot people. And I'm going to just put it out. I just show the card to the universe. Right now I'm inside myself and I'm in my imaginary state, and I'm literally standing here and I'm showing this card to the universe. And I say, guide me on this. Because I'm going to take my mind and I'm just going to throw it on over there, and I'm going to let something come up. Something reveal itself without me knowing much at all. So we're taking this to the next step, okay? We're just going to wait and see what comes up. You guys should totally pick a card, put it in the comments section. What is the card? And then what came to you about the meaning of the card without ever looking at the book. Because this could be really freaking fun. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. You know what I feel? I've shown the card. I'm in my imaginary space. I'm inside myself. I'm basically connecting with what God means to me. So it's like this cosmic consciousness. And I show the card, the mirror. I feel defeat, to be honest. I feel defeated. I feel tired. But I'm being told that everything is going to be just fine. And I experience myself getting smaller, and I'm like an ice cube that's melting, and I'm turning into a puddle. And when I turn into a puddle, I'm letting go of so many things forcefully, in a way. Like when the ice cube melts, it's basically forced. It can't hold its shape anymore. It is being forced under a transformation process to go from this frozen into this liquid, okay? So it is happening whether you want it to or not. And so I experienced myself just this liquid puddle. And in a way, I'm grateful that it's almost like being forced that I'm going through this transformation, but it doesn't feel freeing because I knew myself as a solid, and now I'm having to understand myself as a liquid. But I need time to be a liquid because I need time to let go. I'm being shown that this is a time for letting go. Experiencing yourself in a little bit of a different energetic shape than usual, but feeling at peace with that. And it actually gives me time to rest in this new form. I'm literally a puddle. I'm actually sleeping as a puddle. And I don't feel defeated. I feel grateful. I feel grateful. Almost like I'm given a fragment of time to understand a new sense of self, and even slow down, take the time to just adjust to being different. And there's no rush here in, do I need to go back to a solid? Could I become air now? Am I just going to be water now for the rest of my life? Like, I don't have to know all the answers right now. I'm okay just being this puddle, okay? So when I experience this card, right, and I'm not looking at the book here, I experience myself, before this cosmic consciousness. This is all about being in your imagination. You close your eyes, you take the memory of the card, it's in your heart now. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to think about the words of the card. It's all inside yourself now. You've digested it. It's there with your subconscious, it's there with your soul. We're in the divine time. We're asking the question. We're presenting it to somebody somewhere in the infinite universe that loves us. And now we just wait for something to come up from inside ourselves. And what is coming up for you about your tarot card? What is coming up for you about your tarot card? And how did I get all of this information? For one, I've been practicing this my whole life. So I've been doing this kind of communication my whole life, and I do it for a living. So I am doing this all the time. So it's a lot faster for me to just experience a conversation than it might be for somebody who's still building the skills, okay? Because we're going to be consciously aware of what is coming up inside ourselves, even if it is unclear. That is still part of the message. Unclear is also part of the message. That doesn't mean you're missing something. That actually means it's part of the message. So when I felt defeated, that was the first thing. What was coming up for me is I felt defeated. You guys know what the feeling of defeated feels like, right? Now imagine if that just suddenly appears inside of you. It just suddenly appears, you feel defeated. It feels sad. It feels like I can't make it. I can't finish this marathon. I'm going to collapse before the end of the race. And then I'm going to be ashamed of myself and I'm going to kick myself because I didn't have the strength to keep going. It's that kind of feeling, instantaneous, bam. It just happens. They don't tell me anything else. I just feel that. The next thing that I experienced was being a puddle. But I felt that puddle was related to time. That was also something I experienced coming up about the puddle. Wasn't always a puddle. It was once a solid. It was an ice cube. It went through a process of transformation in time. And that's how it became a puddle. Is that puddle really defeated, or is it rediscovering itself? The water is rediscovering itself. So this 8 of Wands upside down is speaking to me in this way. It is a message about rediscovering yourself. Is it really defeat, or is it transformation and rediscovering yourself? And maybe you're just acclimating to that new sense of self before you know what to do next. And so don't let yourself feel like you're upside down or you're in reverse or things are defeated, but let yourself acclimate to a new awareness of gratitude, of transformation. Bam. So you guys give this a try. This is what comes to me. This is a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I got to share this with all of you. We're going through so much as human beings all the time. I'm going to tell you, I've been thinking about writing a book for a while now, and I'm talking years. When I was in 3rd grade, I actually knew I was going to be a famous writer. I knew that in 3rd grade. I knew I was going to be a famous writer. I haven't really been able to write anything. And every time I sit down to try to write a book, I feel like I'm changing, and then the meaning of this book that I'm working on is changing. So let's say I want to write a book about the meaning of Archangel Lucifer in my life, and I really want to tell the world that it's time for us to explore other avenues of reflection and the meaning of love and the meaning of time and the meaning of angels. And I'm getting started talking about this, and then a week later, it's like, I don't even feel like this anymore. I don't even care about this message anymore. I'm going to write a book now about, chakras and energy fields. So I'm going to get started on this. A week later, it's like, I don't even feel like this anymore. And every single time I try to sit down to write a book, I am changing. So my relationship with what I'm writing is changing. And I finally got this message that couldn't I write a book that is a relationship with constant change? Let's say every single chapter of the book is related to my emotional state or my identity state at that time. And the book itself is a book of transformation. And couldn't that be okay? Like, am I going to hold on to the way that my mind has decided that a book must be written because books have been written for thousands of years and they're written like this, and they couldn't possibly be written as this like ever-changing story, all in one story? That's just weird. Do you see how we're kind of bred to think the same, think as a collective group? But there's a reason why the information's getting so wishy-washy. There's a reason why we don't know what's real anymore. What's the divine truth? We're afraid to even speak our truth, and we don't want to upset people. We're afraid of judgment, and all this stuff is happening right now. And so if you were to take all the noise and send it away and not look for the answer inside all this information that's just coming out and coming out and coming out, but actually revert back to yourself. You are the walking library. You are the master. And so this message here is not me telling you how to do it. It's just me giving you an idea, guiding you to discover how you can do it in your own way. And that might be something new and interesting that we can have some fun with, right? Because even amateurs can actually know themselves and know a message that might blow our freaking minds. But you've got to believe in yourself and you've got to give it a try, you know? So, hope you guys had some fun with this. Thanks for being a part of the experience with me. If any of you would like to work with me one-on-one in a psychic session, I'm here to help. You can book a session with me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. You should also go check out Patreon, patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. It's a very exciting time out there. Doing live streams. I'm offering free sessions depending on the tier you're choosing. There is so much to grab a hold of. There's so much that is going to empower your life. I am somebody who likes to empower people's lives. I'm making this message with these tips to help you realize how profound you are. I'm here to help. I'm just an extension of you. You're an awesome person, and it's going to be an awesome day. I just know it. Thank you again for being a part of this tarot experience with me, and have that wonderful day now. Bye for now.